It was 10 years ago this month that Transformers Prime hit our screens for the first time. So what better way to celebrate its anniversary than with a look at the history of its big breakout character, the stylish Decepticon medic, Knockout. Now, Knockout is one of the preeminent examples of a Transformer name that's been reused again and again and again on a lot of very different characters throughout the franchise's history, as a way for Hasbro to maintain their trademark on it. The first Knockout was released in 1990, the final year of the original Transformers toy line in America. He was part of the line's range of tiny, 2-inch tall Micromaster figures, and was a member of the Decepticon Constructor Squad, alongside Stonecruncher, Excavator, Sledge, Hammer, and Grit, 6 prideful, competitive construction experts who held no qualms about what they had to tear down, or who was paying them to do it if it meant they got the chance to build something. The squad were all Micromaster combiners, each one transformed into half a vehicle and could combine with any other half to form a complete vehicle. Knockout was specifically paired with Grit, and together they turned into a backhoe truck, of which Knockout formed the rear. Since the squad were all sold in a pack together, Knockout didn't get an individual character profile, and he didn't appear in any classic media, leaving him an almost completely blank slate for over a decade, until Dreamwave Productions profiled him in their 2003 guidebook, More Than Meets the Eye. Here, Knockout was characterized as one of the most dedicated and enthusiastic members of the Constructor Squad, who often got so thrilled at the idea of building something that he would faint from sheer excitement. Later the same year, Knockout would make his first in-story appearance, a micro-size cameo in the manga Battle of the Stargate. A further decade after that, he enjoyed a slightly more substantial role in IDW Publishing's 2014 comic book miniseries Empire of Stone, in which he helped Grit escape after he was wrongfully imprisoned alongside the Autobots Drift and Ratchet by dangerous Decepticon leader Gigatron. In between these scattered appearances by the original, many new, different Knockouts were introduced in other series. The second Knockout debuted in 2002's Transformers Armada. He was one of the tiny, power-enhancing Minicons, and transformed into an armoured personnel carrier. A member of the Land military team, he and teammates Wreckage and Bonecrusher made a few appearances in both the Armada cartoon and comic book, overcoming their fear and hesitation to help the Autobots battle the Decepticons. But like his predecessor, he didn't really have a personality until Dreamwave created a profile for him, which described him as a talkative brawler, sharp-witted but hot-headed who had a tendency to jump to conclusions. Armada's sequel series, 2004's Transformers Energon, also featured its own Knockout, another Minicon, who formed the head of his larger partner, the Autobot Ultra Magnus. The live-action movie universe gained its first Knockout in 2009's Revenge of the Fallen toy line. This one an Autobot who transformed into a motorcycle. An insecure young bot who spent all his free time honing his skills in hopes of being noticed by his comrades. He didn't feature in the films themselves, but did appear in tie-in novels and comic books, helping the forces of Nest defend the Earth against the Decepticons, until he was killed by Shockwave. A second movie universe Knockout appeared as a non-transforming figure in 2011's Speed Stars toy line, a 3-wheeled motorcycle Autobot with barely controllable anger issues. It was also in 2011 that the most famous Knockout was introduced in Transformers Prime. The Decepticons' medic and weapons engineer, this Knockout was a vain, snobbish bot obsessed with his looks, who chose a sports car alternate mode, unusual for a Decepticon, specifically for its sleek, stylish shape. Knockout joined the cast of the Prime cartoon midway through its first season, when he and his assistant Breakdown were summoned to the Decepticons' warship by Starscream to tend to a severely wounded Megatron. Heavily queer-coded, he was played with great theatricality by actor Darren Norris, all campy mannerisms and sassy dialogue.
I'm not only an automobile, I'm an automobile enthusiast. Sweet rims. I like the way I look in steel-belted radials.
Knockout quickly became one of the show's main Decepticon cast members, with notable adventures that saw him hunt for Cybertronian relics beneath Manhattan and kidnap the Autobots' human allies June Darby and William Fowler, though his primary concern in the field was usually making sure his paintwork didn't get scratched. In his off hours, he liked to spend time in alt mode, partaking in illegal street races with unwitting human drivers, and attending drive-in movies. After Knockout's experiments with a synthetic energon formula went awry and unleashed a horde of zombie Terrorcons on the Decepticons, he was forced to hand over control of the project to Shockwave. The ignominy of being reduced to little more than a gopher was more than a narcissist like Knockout could stand, and in the series finale, he decided to join the winning team, turning on the Decepticons and helping the Autobots save Cybertron from the Dark God, Unicron.
Well, I never really had the best role models.
This Knockout was an instant favourite with fans, and easily Transformers Prime's standout new character. He appeared in various pieces of tie-in Prime media, and multiple figures of him were released, as he quickly became the definitive bot to bear the name. Within a few years of the series' end, new Knockouts based directly on the Prime incarnation of the character began to cameo in other Transformers continuities, including Transformers Animated, Beast Wars Uprising, and most prominently, IDW Publishing's comics. IDW's version of Knockout was an unaffiliated Transformer from a long-lost Cybertronian colony on the planet Velocitron, a world obsessed with racing, where he worked as a weight loss surgeon, modding racers' bodies to help them stay lean and lightweight for maximum speed. He and fellow Velocitronian Moonracer served as the planet's ambassadors to Cybertron when the two worlds finally made contact, and sat on the Interplanetary Council of Worlds that governed colony affairs. Where the Prime cartoon could only imply, the comic was able to depict Knockout as openly gay, and in a relationship with Breakdown. Illustrating the way that concepts in the world of the Transformers tend to converge and come full circle, the 2016 Transformers Collectors Club story, The Toxic Transformer, even featured a hybrid Knockout with the body of the original Micromaster, but the head, colours, and personality of the Prime character. With 2020 having further driven home Prime Knockout's popularity by seeing him voted by fans into the Transformers Hall of Fame, it certainly feels like the random usage of the name is now a thing of the past, and that future Knockouts will likely follow in the Prime character's footsteps. And look good doing it, too. And those are the basics on Knockout. Let me know in the comments how many of these different guys you've encountered over the years. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more history and lore from the world of the Transformers. Click the bell to be notified about new episodes or get early access to them on Patreon.